The Denver Broncos have an underrated player who is about to have a breakout year, and I'm going to tell you why I think with him having a breakout year, the Denver Broncos pass rush is about to be the best position group on this entire team. If you're new to this channel, my name is Ben. I'm a diehard Denver Broncos fan. If you like the Denver Broncos, it helps me out a ton if you would smash that like and subscribe button harder than Sean Payton hits send to voicemail anytime Russell Wilson calls. So let's dive into the news of the day. And this is an awesome article in the USA Today all about our edge rusher, Jonathan Cooper. He went to the Ohio State University, which is known for just putting out tons of great pass rushers into the NFL. And really the only reason he fell to us in the 7th round, his talent had him graded as like a 2nd round pick, but throughout the whole process, they picked up heart arrhythmias with him. And so he's had multiple ablations. The interesting thing to me is like one of my favorite Denver Broncos defensive linemen of all time, Alfred Williams, also had that. So while that caused him to fall, because if you have long-term heart complications, you could end up off of a team. It seems like all of those things are situated, and he is poised for a breakout year for a number of reasons. The first reason is that it is a contract year for both him and Baron Browning, and that's going to be a tough position for us this time next year, moving into free agency, because I think both of those guys deserve to be paid, but it's a great thing for us this year because we just know that having that new contract needing to just ball out of control so you get a good contract gets the most out of most players. And we saw that with Daniel Jones, like having his only good year for the New York Giants was when he had a contract year. So players always try to rise up to that occasion. And I just think that, you know, while we don't have a Max Crosby or like the dude, we don't have a Von Miller, the Denver Broncos actually haven't had a double-digit sacker in the NFL since Bradley Chubb back in 2018. While we don't have the dude, I think what's awesome is that we have a ton of positional versatility there where we can have guys go in and just go as hard as they can, and then we have a platoon of guys to come and flood in. So would you rather have one 9 out of 10 and a bunch of 5 out of 10s, or would you rather have just 5, 7 out of 10s? And I truly believe that's where we're at right now. And I really think that like Jonathan Cooper and Baron Browning could be the dude. And I think this is the year for it. So just even looking at last year, some of like the stats that just, or the games that really jump off the table to me. This is against the Detroit Lions when really the game was over, yet they're still throwing that, you know, you just saw the score there. They're up a lot. So important thing here and why I'm pulling this one up is he's going up against Penei Sewell, and all my friends who are Lions fans just are obsessed with this guy, and he really is one of the best pass blockers in the entire NFL. And watch how Jonathan Cooper just has this dude on skates, and then we're going to watch him go against one of the better tackles in the Minnesota Vikings right after this. So you just see like, just eating Jared Goff up, does not have time to find his guys, and that's amazing. It's going to show the other angle here. So here he is, bottom right of your screen, going up against 58. Weird to see 58 as an offensive lineman, but Goff doesn't even have time to get to his read right there. And that's incredible that he's doing this, not even knowing, is this a passing down or what is this? And just seeing that you're putting one of the best offensive linemen on skates. He had 9 sacks last year. And again, he's trying to get that money this year. That's going to be a fantastic thing. So there's going to be a lot of advantages and disadvantages to, do we extend him next year or do we pick Baron Browning? And I think a lot of that depends on what Jonah Ellis looks like. What does Drew Sanders come back looking like? But I think we're in a very good position. Here he is. Let me mute this because someone told me I did not mute this the last time I screen shared.
You know who's become a good...
So take a look at him here against Minnesota Vikings, and just, you know, that little zone read, being able to read it. He misses the sack there, but still like the quickness he has. And again, here he finishes it with a sack. Incredible. 7 QB pressures in that game against the Pastronaut. And you remember when we played the Vikings, they were the hottest team in the NFL going into that game, and they seemed unstoppable, right? And to have 7 QB pressures, and again, this is what I'm saying. I think having multiple guys that you can just get that rotation going, that you're really talking about a position that requires so much of you physically. And so the fact that he goes for a couple seconds and a couple plays in a row, when he's tired, you throw Benito in there. When Benito's tired, you get Jonah Ellis in there. And then, you know, what we heard from Sean Payton in his OTA press conference the other day is he expects that Sanders is going to be ready by late October. And so I envision that truly being like November or something like that. But the fact is we have a platoon of guys who we can throw here. And this is not even just talking about the excitement that we have now in also having Jonah Elliss. So taking a look, obviously this is against college linemen, which is different, but his spin move is nasty. And they're saying that's his most refined move, that 3 of his brothers are playing in the NFL. His dad played in the NFL, played for the Denver Broncos. And I just think he's ready to step in and come in very specific situations. I think the other thing that is setting our entire pass rush squad up for success is the fact that we now have Jim Leonard as our passing game coordinator. And what he is doing, by all accounts from those who are at OTAs, they were saying that there's so much more pressed coverage than we've been used to seeing here in Denver. So you get Pat Surtain up on the line pressing the coverage, and now we have a pass rush who can get there. And so I really think that Baron Browning, Jonah Elliss, Jonathan Cooper, Nick Bonito are all poised to have an amazing year, and I'm really excited about that position group. So let me know in the comments, do you think our edge rush ended up being a fantastic position group, and are they going to ball out of control this year? The other big thing about this is just looking at what our defense did last year. It's easy to look at the 70 burger that we let Miami drop on us, or Washington dropping 35, or even the Bears scoring 28 points in 3 quarters on us. But the thing is that this defense was completely different when Baron Browning came in, and he came in this Packers game. And you just look at the Packers playoff team. They scored 17 points on us. Chiefs won the Super Bowl and have the Super Bowl MVP in Pat Mahomes, and they scored 9 points on us. Buffalo, we know what that squad can put up. We know what they're capable of, and we go to Buffalo, and even though we had some just horrible ineptitude from our offense, still only letting Josh Allen drop 22 points on us in his home when they'd had a players-only meeting and knew that was a must-win game, and our defense came out and let them score 22 points, and that's fantastic. Again, hottest team in football in the Vikings, 20 points, and then Cleveland, obviously backup quarterback there, but 12 points on us, the Cleveland Browns scored, and then even C.J. Stroud scored more points than that in, with a very inept offense that wasn't holding the ball. Like, he was on the field all the time, and he only scored 22 points on us. The Chargers, and this was before the injury of Herbert, scored 7 points on us. And then obviously we know this is where the cart kind of came off of the train tracks there, and this is when things started going downhill. But I'm really high, and so is Pro Football Focus on this position group. Again, we do not have a all-pro on the defensive line right now, but we have a lot of players who can rush the ball and rush the passer at an incredibly, incredibly high level with Baron Browning, Jonathan Cooper, Nick Bonito, and I'm really high on what Jonah Elliss is going to bring to this squad. The other thing I think that is changing the whole game is that we've also added more depth at the defensive line that's going to help in the rush. We've had a really hard time stopping the run, and I think that is why our defense struggled at times. And now we bring in Franklin Myers. We got him for just a 6th-round draft pick to trade him. This is the big trade we made to the Jets during the draft, and you see he's highly rated. And then we know we got Malcolm Roach from we got Malcolm Roach, who was one of the best the best run stoppers in the entire NFL at that position. Obviously to pair with a ton of great talent that we have already in Zach Allen and DJ Jones. So very high on our defensive line. And I think that paired with this new philosophy of pressed coverage is going to make this defensive room just ball out of control next year. So let me know in the comments, are you high on Jonathan Cooper? Which of those edge rushers do you think is going to have the most sacks for the Denver Broncos this year? Do you think it's going to be Baron Browning, Nick Bonito, Jonathan Cooper, or do you think the rookie Jonah Elliss is going to come in and surprise some folks? So let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for riding with me, Broncos country. Believe, baby. I should have gone for the bank. You always wonder, like, bank or try to swish it. All right, I'll get back at it.